Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about my capture of the Northern Flying Dragons LBN 550, 552 and 555. My name's Rob, this is Seven Skies Astro. First of all, I'd like to thank you guys for watching in. If you're new to this channel, please consider give us a subscription, cost you nothing, and give it a like. If you leave a comment, I'll always get back to them. So it's something you can consider. Now, these nebulae are in the northern constellation of Cepheus. Now, they're around about 600 light years away, and they're very faint. That the number 6 on the LBN faintness register, so or scale as you might say. So yeah, it's I've got around about 10 hours 45 minutes worth of data of 3-minute subs captured with my Askar FRA 300s, and the in-jump camera was the Altair Astro 26C one shot colour. That was cool to -10. Now I have no filter, just a infrared UV infrared block. So I say that's what I've done. I've captured 10 hours 45 minutes worth thereabouts. Now I did miss out on 3 nights of capturing data because the moon is full, well 98% then full, you know. So yeah, and it was pretty windy, so I didn't bother. I would have liked to have probably doubled the amount of data, but the data I've got is not too bad, uh, especially considering the last one was the integrated flux nebula, and that was really faint. I think you'll see the difference with this capture of this data of how much um, brighter, if you will, even though it's not bright, it is. So that's what I've done. So I'm going to jump on the computer and show you how I've processed it. So this is my image. What I've done, I've run, I've just cropped it back, the original data, and ran Blur Exterminator on it, about a grad expert. So I run Blur Exterminator on it, and this is where we're up to. Yeah. Now I'm just going to run Noise Exterminator, and that was at my usual settings. I usually do it around about 75%, and I just run that. So I should run that now. It's my usual workflow on the likes of this. It doesn't take too long. They're quite a APS-C size sensor, so it takes a little bit longer rather than the 533 sensors. So there we are there. And it's just takes that noise down a bit. Next up, because I like the way the stars look on that, I use the multi-stretch. Let's just take the screen transfer function off, because when you use the review, it's tends to over stretch it because you got to stretch prior to it. Now I don't think that's too bad there, and I'll probably leave that as I'll just do the scale separation up to 512. I think it's a good. I can never see much, but I do think it's probably helps a little bit. So I'm gonna just apply the stretch to that, which doesn't take long at all. There we go. Now as you see, very very green. I'm just gonna take the green out there. Next up, I'm gonna remove the stars. leaving it on screen, and I'll just run through that there. You see, there's come some nice star colours in there. The oranges, and a little bit of blue. It is with using the Askar FRA 300s. I am undersampling it a bit, but I do believe it's the wide field and that looks it's just perfect for this. Of course, now that I've already stretched the stars, as you can see there, I just close that down and put that out the way. As you can see there, now quite a lot of the bright nebula there that's come out. So next up, let's get on some curves. Now I'm not going to do too much, just a little bit of the brighten it a little bit more, the contrast. Just bring down the lows so they're not. And as you see, it's just a tiny curve on there. And just increasing the contrast. And I'll do that probably a couple of times just to, yeah, I think that's probably right. And I'll just add a little bit of the colour up again a little bit. Not too much, just drop the low ones. A little tiny S curve in a colour. Now it's a very subtle variation, but I just had two of them, and I think that's looking quite nice now. So we've got a little bit of noise still in there, but we'll deal with that presently. But what I'm going to do is go into the scripts. I'm going to screen the stars back in. Background extraction. And background extraction stars. It still looks pretty busy there, so but I'm just going to add them in. Let's make that one smaller. Let's put that one over there. Now, this is the starry view, which was what we pretty much had before, but I've stretched just the nebula. I didn't want to stretch the stars too much. But I am going to reduce the stars on something like this. The star reduction should help immensely. The starless view was background extraction. Now I'm going to use the star method and a couple of iterations, and that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to go with that. You can experiment with a lot of them, but I think I'll keep that as is. There's the stars. Well, it's the junction by. So, and as you can see there, it's quite a big difference. Let's get that starry one out the way. Now it just needs a bit more tweaking now. So what I'm going to do is go into curves and just increase the contrast a little bit. Let's get the preview up just a little bit more. Let's drop that down there. You can see the slight reflection nebula there. Let's just increase that. And it's just because it's bringing everything just up one little tiny bit. It doesn't need any more colour. So I'm going to show and check the histogram now. Now this was the star reduced image, and the histogram's looking good. But I'll show you what I was saying. It does need a little bit of noise reduction there again. So I'm just going to go onto noise reduction. I will put it down to the 75. Let's just back that up there and go 75. And I'll just hit it with that one. Now, if you keep your eyes on the Instagram, it always seems to push them up a little bit. And there you go. As you can see, it did alter the Instagram. So I can just bring that up a little touch if I wanted to, just see the effects. There we go. And it's just adding that to it a little brighter. And I think it's obviously subjective now, but I don't want to add. Yeah, I think I'm quite happy with that now. For me, for my eye. But as I say, everything is very much subjective. Let's bring that right way up there. And it's looking really nice. So you got these little reflection bits here, in there, over here, and of course you got a little galaxy down there. There you have fighting dragons. Could I change it a little bit more? Maybe, but it's like everything else. When you have, I think that's for me. That's nice. What you could always do is Control I to invert it and screen it to take any magentas out of the sky, and then Control I and invert it back again, and it's made a little bit of a difference there. You've allowed this to go into blackness in here, and I think that's probably improved it slightly. Yes, and as noise controls, it's one on one, which is you don't usually have a look at it like that. I say there's a little galaxy there, reflection embedded in nebula, and so yeah, I think I think that's about it. And there you have it. Uh, Not too bad an image, I suppose. I say I would like probably the same amount of data as the IFN, and even that probably needed double data. So you can never get enough data, but it's down there in a link, so you can have a little play with it yourself and see what you think. So that's it for this one. Hope you liked the image, and I'll see you the next time on the channel. Hopefully, I'll see you again. Please consider having a comment, and because I do always comment, reply, and give it a like and a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. So until then, be safe, be well, and clear skies.